Welcome to this contribution to transformative dialogues.
We will showcase and discuss a helpful question for decoding the disciplines, which we call the "what would happen if" question.
In case you are not familiar with decoding the disciplines, it's a process for increasing student learning by narrowing the gap between expert and novice thinking.
As teachers, we are experts of our disciplines. As such, we often can't see what makes subject matter difficult to novices, that is, our students.
Decoding the discipline starts by identifying situations where students get typically stuck in learning a particular discipline.
And we call these situations bottlenecks.
Decoding then tries to make explicit what experts do in order to help students master the mental actions they need for success in particular courses.
We will provide links and references to decoding the disciplines at the end of this contribution. By the way, this is my colleague and friend Ida Mikhailova, who teaches mathematics at Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences.
And this is Peter Riegler, who currently serves as scientific director of the Bavarian Center for Innovative Teaching.
Both of us have been working with decoding for a number of years by now.
And we got interested not only in using decoding as a means to improve teaching, but also in understanding how decoding works.
Decoding often leads to aha moments, where a teacher gets deep insights.
Today we would like to analyze such a moment and the question that led to it by reviewing parts of a recorded decoding interview. Could you provide us, Peter, with some context about the decoding interview we are going to analyze?
Sure. It is the decoding interview of Jutta. She is a professor of aeronautical engineering, and she teaches a project class where students construct a mechanical component of an airplane and document their construction in a report. Prior to her decoding interview, Jutta described the bottleneck her students experience as students find it difficult to identify critical components, to identify and distinguish load cases, and to document them in a comprehensive and systematic manner.
Sounds like three distinct bottlenecks to me.
I agree, yet Jutta made the remark that the three bottlenecks seem interconnected to her. Anyway, in the course of the interview, the usual "how do you do that" question of decoding made transparent a lot of Jutta's expertise. For instance, when constructing a mechanical component, Jutta tends to focus on potential failure. She asks herself constantly what would need to happen such that a mechanical part breaks down. It is this sort of critical analysis she wants her students to do.
So she is doing a lot of what-if analysis.
Exactly. It is interesting that you use these words, what-if analysis. Anyway, let's have a look at the interview recording.
We would like to invite you to think about the following questions while watching this video. Which question was helpful? Which effect had the question? Why does it produce this effect? Would you ask a different question?
And feel free to stop the interview recording at any time or watch it multiple times. By the way, there is a technical term used in the interview, load cases. You probably don't have to know what it means in order to follow the interview. But if you wonder, it is the mechanical engineering term for the physical forces acting on an object. Take a passenger seat as an example. Among others, there is the load of the person sitting on it and the load due to the notebook of the guy behind. And in case of an accident, there might be loads due to falling objects or other objects pressing on the seat.
Also wir gehen jetzt in dem Szenario davon aus, Studierende haben, ich nenne das mal Testfälle, Belastungsfälle,
ja.
Ist das ein brauchbares Vokabel, kreiert. Und für dich ist erstmal das Wichtigste zu entscheiden, sind diese konstruierten Belastungsfälle sinnvoll untersucht zu werden.
Genau, erstmal möchte ich vor allen Dingen verstehen, was haben Sie jetzt da berechnet? Weil wir hatten ja gesagt, eigentlich wollen wir vor allen Dingen auch das dritte nachvollziehbar und systematisch dokumentieren. Das heißt, ich erwarte eine Überschrift. Was für eine Berechnung kriege ich jetzt hier? Kriege ich normale Benutzung, Missbrauch oder Notlandebedingungen? Diese Überschrift fehlt schon.
Okay.
Ne? Damit fängt es schon an, obwohl ich sage, die möchte ich gerne haben. Und dann welchen Teil haben Sie sich ausgesucht?
Warum möchtest du die Überschrift gerne haben?
Damit ich verstehen kann, was Sie mir da mit Ihren Formeln und Ihren Zahlen sagen wollen. Weil mich tatsächlich die Zahlen gar nicht so interessieren, sondern mich interessiert ja vielmehr, welche Schlussfolgerungen Sie daraus ziehen, wie Sie das Ganze auch in Ihr Projekt einbetten. Ich will ja keine Mathematikprüfung nochmal nachvollziehen.
Was würde denn passieren, wenn ein Experte, eine Expertin diese Überschrift nicht drüber schreibt? So wie es die Studie
ja, also wenn man es jetzt mal im Ernstfall nimmt, im Flugzeugbau sind halt Berechnungen, dokumentationspflichtige Unterlagen, die im Falle eines Flugzeugunglücks von der Zulassungsbehörde oder der Flugunfalluntersuchungsbehörde eingefordert werden. Und wenn dort eine solche aussagekräftige Überschrift fehlt, ist das ein Indikator dafür, dass die Person, die die Berechnung durchgeführt hat, nicht qualifiziert ist. Das heißt, entweder die Person, die sie beauftragt hat, ist haftbar, oder aber wenn die Person eigenmächtig eine Freigabe erteilt hat, ist sie persönlich haftbar. Das heißt, die gute Dokumentation ist gleichzeitig die Absicherung dafür, dass ich nicht irgendwann mal im Gefängnis lande.
So, Ina, how do you yourself answer the questions which you have phrased earlier?
From my perspective, the helpful question was, what would happen if an expert did not write headlines?
And what do you think, which effect had this question?
The question released Yuta from being in teaching mode and brought her back to describing the essence of her expertise.
What do you mean when you say teaching mode?
It is quite typical in decoding interviews that interviewees focus on their teaching, while decoding tries to focus on expertise first and only later addresses their teaching challenges. Here, Yuta is first pointing out what she is expecting her students to do on pedagogical grounds. So she is in a teaching mode. The what would happen if question changed that. How would you explain why this question produces this effect, Peter?
Well, I feel the what if question is actually provocative, yet in a positive way.
Oh, yes. Think about it. The question is almost impertinent in the first place. It asks for the unthinkable, the never questioned.
I guess it triggers lateral thinking. It reminds me of the work of Edward de Bono on lateral thinking techniques. He suggests using provocative questions to move thinking forward to a new place from where you get new insights or new solutions may be found.
The what if question provokes you to think about how seemingly innocent concept like headline relates to expertise in her field.
With rather shocking consequences in that case.
Yes, indeed. Peter, how did you get the idea to ask this very question?
Frankly, I can't remember anymore. Looking at Juta's interview today, what strikes me is that the question I had asked immediately before that was not that useful.
Which one are you referring to?
When I asked, why would you like to have the headline?
I noticed that Yuta reacted somewhat desperate to this question.
Yes, I believe why questions can actually trigger that. In decoding, we tend to be as concrete as possible. We avoid the vague, but why questions tend to elicit abstract answers, while the what would happen if questions keep the focus on the concrete situation.
I guess we can leave it with that for today.
Please write us your ideas. We are grateful for any comments.
And keep being interested in advancing teaching and talking about it.
Goodbye.